Welcome back to the Anthony the Crypto channel. Take a look at December stats today for Bitcoin. We're going to see if we can try to determine the direction of Bitcoin and how far we're going to go in said direction. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell down below so you never miss these updates. So I've gone through every single December in the history of Bitcoin and I've marked out the monthly stats, and here they are. This is every open, close, wick high, wick low, high date, low date, percentage, all that good stuff. So we can get kind of an historical average. So we can kind of determine possibly which direction the market's going to go. Now, I've highlighted these two segments here. There's a 4-year, two separate 2-year spans in purple. Those coincide with the November stats, which we're likely to close negative this month. I mean, unless we get a $20,000 rally between now and tomorrow. We're likely to close negative, but I didn't count this month because it hasn't officially closed yet and our stats aren't final. But if you look at these two segments in purple, we closed negative in the month of November during those 4 years. All 4 years that we closed negative in November, we also closed negative in December. But I think we might have an exception to the rule this year, and we're going to go over these stats and we're going to take a look and see why I think that and how we can tell what it's going to be pretty early on this month. So what I've gone here and done, I've already done this, but feel free to copy the screenshot just to go do it yourself. I've taken out every high and every low for positive closing month and negative closing month, and the high date and low date for each of those as well, to see if we can figure out which direction, because it's almost a coin flip. Actually, it's a little more likely to close negative this month at only 41% win percentage. That's positive closes. But I think it's going to be a positive closing month, and here's how we can determine. So I've taken all those stats out and found the averages of each. And here's what we're looking for. Let me turn these fibs off real quick. So for our December stats, if we're going to get a positive close, we're looking for a low in the first week of December, okay? The low is going to come somewhere to the tune of 5 to 7%. Our high is going to come near the 15th or somewhere in the middle of the month, near the 15th, 17th, somewhere in there, with a high average of about 28% to the upside. Okay, it's basically flipped, and this is an unusual month. Usually it's not an exact replica and inverse relationship with each other, but December happens to be. If we're going to get a negative close, historically speaking, the high is going to come within the first week of December. The high is usually an average of 5 to 7%. The low is near the 15th, so middle of the month, with the low only coming in about 15%. Pretty much mirrored stats there for the high and the low, except if it's going to be a high month, historically it's about twice as high of a percentage gain to the upside. So let me show you what that would look like here and why I think we are going to flip the script here and have a positive closing in December. So I do think we're going to start out to the downside this month, and I'm going to show you that. Hang with me. Let's turn these fibs back on. Let's look at what these percentages will look like. So if we're going to start out to the downside, let's assume we close tomorrow somewhere about where price is now. And we go 5 to 7% to the downside. We're going to be looking at somewhere around this golden pocket area of this bounce, of this move up. So somewhere in the area of 85K, possibly down to 84, even 83K, but somewhere in this 85K range. Even 86K, okay, that'll give you 4%. I'll show you what else I like there that has some confluence. At that 86K, you see we're on the 8-hour time frame. You see this big vector candle right here. That is unrecovered. There's nothing below it, no vectors below it that need to be recovered. So I do think we come down and recover this vector candle. Got a whole bunch of support right here. We might wick down through it and touch into this golden pocket, and then I think we move to the upside. But I definitely think we come get this vector candle at some point, hopefully in the first week, because if we come get it later in the month, it's probably going to continue down, at least historically speaking. So we want to look for something like this. Come down, touch that, and then off to the upside. That is our ideal situation for this month. But if we don't get that and we start out to the upside, that's okay. That's okay. We just determine where it's going to top out and we short it from that point down. So let's go back and look at our numbers here and see what we can look back to the upside. So If we do get that negative close, excuse me, that negative open of the month, where we come down 5 to 7%, somewhere in that golden pocket area, then we can be looking at something like a 28% move to the top side. That's historical average. And assuming Bitcoin closes somewhere around where it is now tomorrow, 28%, boom, is right there at the 786 from top to bottom, from the all-time high to the low we set a couple of weeks ago. That would be your 786 coming out at right around 116K. I do think that 110, 109, 110 golden pocket may be a little bit better target, but hey, stats are stats. So the stat says if we come down to the golden pocket here and hold that in the first week of the month, then we are going to that 116. I do think we will not see a new all-time high for Bitcoin this cycle, but I do expect a pretty good rally before continued downside. So that's what we're going to be looking for, guys. That's what I think is going to play out. Now, if it does play the other way and we do continue to the upside here, assuming price closes where it's at now, we're going to be looking at a 5 to 7% move to the upside. So somewhere right in there around 96, 97K. And then we're going to be looking for a 15% move to the downside, guys. So that's going to put us right down around 76, 75, 76, 77,000, somewhere in there, guys. So basically, and this has never been wrong thus far, if we move to the upside and have our high of the month in the first week, so if we move to the upside in the first week and then start our downtrend, we can expect a negative closing December, and you have your numbers down to around 77K. If we started off the month with a downtrend, 5 to 7%, down to around 85K or so, then we can expect an uptrend to continue and finish out the rest of the month somewhere around $116,000. So depending on which way the month opens, we want to long or short the market once we reach that low or high for the first in the first week of December. Now, let me show you why I think it's going to be an upside move. So let's flip over to, I've been giving these, go check out my page right now, guys. Subscribe to the channel. I have a playlist here with a couple of trading strategies, and I've been putting these strategies in there. So you want to go watch these videos. I'm really giving some good stuff here that most people won't give you. But we're looking for this Lionheart trade, okay? What are the parameters for Lionheart? I give a full detailed video on this, but I'm going to skim through it right now. Lionheart, I usually use on the daily time frame. You can use it on the 12-day. This has 100% win rate for the daily time frame, 89% win rate for the 12-hour time frame. So a lot of times you can front run it on the 12-hour and wait to see if it bleeds over to the daily, and then you know you got 100% trade. But the strategy is when the 5 EMA, I'm looking at the daily here, when the 5 EMA crosses the 13, which it has not done yet, but if we zoom in, you can see it is awfully close to crossing. If we get that crossed, we enter along, and price will always, or always has in the past, gone to the 55 EMA, if not further. But a minimum move to the 55 EMA, which currently comes at about 101,000. So, I mean, this works in the inverse as well. So if your EMAs, your 5 and 13 are above the 55 and the 5 crosses 13 to the downside, you can also short it down to the 55. It's 100% on the daily time frame. So we are about to get that cross, but I don't think we get it just yet. And then that will at least put us up to about 101K, depending on where these moving averages are at the time you get the cross. So we're looking for that move up, and that would be some really good momentum to propel us up to 110 to 117, whatever the numbers I just gave you. If we flip through to another strategy that is on the YouTube channel, go subscribe, watch this one too. It's called the Bjorn. This is our Bjorn strategy, and this is our BBWP versus stochastic strategy. We're looking at the weekly time frame right now, the BBWP, which is a measure of volatility. Volatility is headed up, which means we can expect big, powerful moves, okay? But it doesn't mean the move is to the upside. To determine that, you look at your stochastic, and you can see right here, over the last few weeks, volatility has been headed up, and go watch the detailed video. I tell you exact numbers to look for on this. The volatility has been headed up, while stochastic has been headed down, okay? And what does that translate to? If you trace it to the upside, that was a big, powerful move to the downside, okay? But volatility is still headed up, okay? Volatility is still headed up. You can see right here. And let's zoom in here. We just got the stochastic cross to the upside. So This is not confirmed yet. This will confirm tomorrow with the weekly close because we're on the weekly time frame. If we get that close with stochastic still headed up and volatility still headed up, we can expect price over the next few weeks to have a significant upside move, just like we got here to the downside, okay? But that doesn't mean it happens all in one day. If we follow this strategy down to lower time frames, oops, got these big giant arrows now. Let me get rid of those, y'all. Sorry about that. So if you follow this down to a lower time frame, look at the 8-hour here. Volatility is still pretty high, starting to curve on over, which means volatility is going to be likely coming down in the short time. Now it can curve right back to the upside and you get a good move, but as of now, it's coming to the downside, and we have stochastic coming to the downside. But when volatility is coming down, that usually means more sideways action versus directional, possibly slightly directional, coinciding with stochastic. So with this coming down in the shortish medium term here, we're going to expect some light sideways and down action until this stochastic resets and heads back to the upside. That's why I think we're going to get the opening of December to the downside, just slight downside. You can see right here, volatility is headed down, so you're not fixing to get a big drastic move to the downside unless something crazy happens. It's going to be kind of like a slow bleed in the first week to the downside, probably to the tune of that 5 to 7%, somewhere around 85, 86K. And then the big move to the upside as this weekly momentum continues to the upside, this weekly stochastic stays to the upside. You're going to find some support there. You're going to bounce to the upside. So I am telling you right now, I'm expecting a big upside move. I'm in a no trade right now. I'm going to wait till the first week of December, look for that low or that high. If I happen to be wrong and it goes to the upside, that's okay. I will short it down. But as of now, I'm looking for that first small move to the downside, and I'm looking to long this back up to at least 110K, if not that 786, which we showed is coming around 117, 118K. So that is it for the monthly statistics, guys, for Bitcoin. We're looking for a big December month. It would be the first time ever that November has closed negative and December has closed positive, but I'm calling for it right here on this channel. Be sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Oh, also, before we go, we are having the Black Friday. It's extending over into Cyber Monday. AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. Join my VIP Discord. You can get all the good updates that no one else gets, trade setups, mentorship programs. They're all on the website, discounted now through Monday. So take advantage of that, guys, and we will see you next time.